Our next guest is a wife, mother, grandmother, and business entrepreneur, and she's been called the Irma Bombeck for the new millennium. In her book, How to Succeed at Aging Without Really Dying, Lyla Blake Ward shares her humorous take on everything from aging, health, to grandkids, and technology. Over the last 6 decades, Lyla has written for numerous publications, including Good Housekeeping, Woman's Day, and the Wall Street Journal, and she joins us now. Welcome, Lyla. You've been a writer now for years. Do you think you're a funny writer?
Well, I think the things I write are funny. I hope they're funny. They strike me funny, and I'm not particularly a funny person.
You don't think so?
I don't think I'm a ho-ho person, but I do see things in a light that amuse me, and there are so many things in our society to laugh at.
Absolutely, we need to laugh at these things.
I think it helps a lot.
I totally agree. Now, you're a great believer of self-help. Is this book somewhat a self-help book with a humorous twist?
Well, there are things in it that are self-help. I mean, there are ways to look at things, perhaps, that might help you. I think that, in general, it's my take on the society around us. I mean, I can't say I'm an expert on aging. I'm aging, if that makes me expert, but I do know the way I see things now, and they are perhaps a little bit different than I saw them before. You basically say as you age, you really need to just roll with the punches.
Right. Or punches.
I said roll with the punches, yes, that's right.
Yes. Are you saying that most people don't know really how to do that?
Well, a lot of people are unfortunate in that they don't have senses of humor. And a sense of humor can get you a long way in today's world. I mean, there aren't things that are outright funny, but on the other hand, for instance, the other day I was in the drugstore looking for a moisturizer, and I found that there were probably 35 or 40 different anti-wrinkling creams. Now, I knew they were not really going to help me, but on the other hand, it's tempting when it says it's going to do away with those little fine lines. You're tempted, and that strikes me funny, the society.
What was funny well, the entire book I thought was very funny. Just want you to know that. I did read it. One of my favorite chapters was Make Room for Daddy. Tell everybody what this one is about.
Well, Make Room for Daddy was a question of making room for my husband. Originally, he was in advertising, and he used to commute several hours to the city and back, and always ruining the amount of time that he had to spend on the train. And I used to encourage him to work from home. I mean, you know, you're old enough now, you can be a consultant, and we have plenty of rooms. We had a big house. Girls were both out of the house, and he wasn't up to it. So then we sold the house, and we moved to a 2-bedroom condo. And I had the 2nd bedroom as my office. And he announced one day that he was now going to stay at home and work from home.
And you welcomed that.
And I said, oh, that's just lovely. I mean, we get along very well. We can spend a lot of time together, and this is going to be wonderful. And then he looked for a place in the house to put his office.
In this 2-bedroom condo.
In this 2-bedroom condo. Well, there were not a lot of places to put it. And so we walked around the house, and we finally found a little place in the dining area. And as I said in the book, I knew I'd have to move the bananas, but otherwise it seemed to be okay. And it went from there. And of course, he went from the little place in the dining room to needing a little bit more space for a filing cabinet and a little bit more space for another one, and he was constantly looking around.
So pretty soon he's pretty much taking up a lot of the space?
So pretty soon he's taking up a lot of space. And he was very reluctant to move to the garage. So eventually, of course, I knew it was going to happen. There was a knock on the door, and there he was at my office.
And the lesson from this is?
A lesson from this is be careful what you wish for.
Exactly. You also talked about this, and this is something I also know, is that the new 40 is 30 years old, the new 50 is 40 years old, and it keeps going on and on and on. And are you ever really middle-aged? And you say no.
No. Yeah, well, I was never middle-aged.
I'm going to say I'm never going to be middle-aged either.
You're never going to be middle-aged. But then again, it's a shock because you've never been middle-aged, and then all of a sudden you're old. And of course, you don't say you're old, you're a senior. So that everything is very euphemistic in our society. But middle age never comes, because as soon as you get to be 40, then someone up there decides 50 is really middle age. And when you get to be 50, it's 60. And
I like
now
that.
you're
They keep
assuming
pushing it.
they keep pushing the barrier. And pretty soon, of course, you're 120. You're supposed to live to 120 if you're 60. And then they're on up.
Well, you might.
So, hopefully, yes. I'm heading for it.
Yes, you are.
I'm trying.
Can we be good at aging?
Can we be good at aging? I don't know. You just age. You are what you are. I don't know. I guess you can try hard. I take lots of vitamins and exercise. But that's funny, too, because everybody is exercising like crazy, which may kill us all in the end.
I think I told you that my parents are visiting this week, and last night they pulled out all their supplements, their pain relievers, everything that they could possibly need. And I said, do you really need to take all that? They said, absolutely. It makes us feel good.
I know.
Even though we're not really sure it's doing anything, but it makes us feel good.
I mean, I take bee pollen. I have no idea what bee pollen does. But I was in a diner once, and they had a placemat, and it said, take bee pollen for long life and for not getting sick and whatever, and they were selling it. Why not? You know, they liked it, so I take bee pollen.
All right, what's the best advice that you like to share with everybody at home about aging?
Well, it's not just about aging. I guess the best advice I can give is to just try and find a funny side to some of the things that you endure, you know, like trying to get advice with your online with your computer, or trying to open a package, or trying to shop for a present for your grandchildren. I mean, you just have to stand by and enjoy it.
Just enjoy life.
You do.
The name of the book, again, is How to Succeed at Aging Without Really Dying. And Lyla, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It was lovely to chat with you.
Thanks.
Don't go away. There is more Connecticut Style after this.